YouTube, this is Rob. Today I have a special video for you guys. This is the China area with the big impact, well, with a huge crater in it. And this is special because this crater its reoccurring pattern can be found all over the planet. And that's one of the things that really got me into this in the beginning, is after I noticed the Hawaiian island chain stuff, I tracked stuff down to this crater and realized that this crater is actually more important than people think, because of the recurring patterns that it has made. But first, before I get into that, I wanted to go ahead and finish what I started in my last video, is the destruction of plate tectonics. Without a doubt, what I'm going to show you here completely blows plate tectonics out of the water. There's no doubt about it. If you don't think so, you can leave a comment and we can argue about it. But I'm going to show you why. It's common sense why this beats plate tectonics. Over here, there's that subduction zone, and on the other side of that subduction zone is the Pacific plate. And on that Pacific plate are these scars right here, and the Hawaiian island chain. Okay, and because they're on the other side of that subduction zone, there should be no connection between those scars over there and this side of the subduction zone. If there is a connection, it means that that's not a subduction zone. It can't be a subduction zone. You can't have a connection between either side of the plates. Or I mean either side of the fault. And I already explained about how I think it's the outer layer of the Earth sliding back. So you can look that up in the other video if you haven't heard it. So anyways, here's that scar right here. You're gonna see that fits into there. Okay. And you can see that it fits pretty good. You can see you have this mark right here. It lines up with that feature. You can see it fits in there too. It fits the angles and stuff, and then you got these lines right here that also fits into. You see these lines right here? Yeah, that fits into there. But some people, that's not going to be good enough, so let me back out. If that's not good enough for you, then this fits in there. And we'll zoom in and take a closer look at that. You can see this notch right here, and then you can see, of course, you could see this right here fits into there. Fits like a champ right there. And then you look back here and you got another thing right here. You see that? This fits. This fits right into there. And when it fits into there, you can see that when you move this around, you can see these lines that are on the Eurasia plate, or China. You can see that they line up with the markings from the Pacific Ocean, which is it's like a fingerprint identifying who it belongs to. So there's no doubt that this is the same thing, that these were underneath or on top of one another. So that I guarantee you that destroys plate tectonics 110%. Just in case you're not into seismology or plate tectonics and you don't know much about it, I can guarantee you that you can't have this. This can't be in plate tectonics, and yet I have evidence that that's exactly the case. Okay, and here's the Hawaiian Islands, and they also line up here too, because they're part of this whole electrical reoccurring pattern system. The whole planet's made from the reoccurring patterns. That's why it's so easy for me to prove. And so you got that. You can see that lines up. It lines up here too. You can see where it slides over. So it could have went like this. Damn. That's amazing, actually. But if I move this back really quick to there, actually I screwed up because, okay. When I move that to there, you can see that the Hawaiian Islands also line up, you know, basically with the features below it. You see how this wraps around that. It's just what it is. Let's see. You can also see that this other scar right there lines up in there too. See that? I just need to rotate it a little bit and it would fit much better. But it is that right there. See? You can just see it. And I guarantee, like I said, this 100% proves that plate tectonics is wrong. What this says is that there are no plates. It says that areas that we see lie on top of other areas when this planet was smaller, and that's that. This is my proof. This is absolute proof. Unless you can prove otherwise, this is the way it is. Also, uh, th there's other alignments here. This is definitely the hotbed of where most of the activity happened when this planet was created, because you can see that this lines up right here with these markings. Then this other piece right there, see how it lines up? It also lines up with that, because these are two reoccurring patterns right next to each other. It makes sense that as the planet is being rotated and it's being created, that the reoccurring patterns would be right next to each other like this. You can see these are reoccurring patterns of the same thing. That's why this fits here, here, and I'm sure if I rotated it, it would fit up in here too. This also lines up right in here, which means that if it lines up there, then this must also be a reoccurring pattern of this crater. Yeah, I already showed you these areas. So you can see why it's going to be so hard to prove me wrong. It's just too much evidence that I have. This is just the beginning. Let's move to the next. This crater cannot be an impact crater from a meteor or an asteroid or whatever. And the reason being is because it has so many reoccurring patterns that common sense would tell you that 50 asteroids didn't hit this planet that looked the same and were the same size. I guarantee that. So these are duplicates, or, yeah, like I said, reoccurring patterns of this crater. And this crater, believe it or not, I used to think it was like an electrical discharge that must have spun around in a circle, you know, like the eye of a hurricane or something like that. But that's not the case here. What's unique about this gouge is that this is the side view of the beginning of our planet before it was a completely round ball. It was currents, filaments from Birkeland currents rotating. That's why you're getting, if you look, you'll see these little lines right there. Those are like, you know, like rotation lines, like something was rolling right there. And this texture right here is the same thing. It looks like braids. It looks like something was rolling in there, or while it was making it. And you look at this side, you can see the same thing. As a matter of fact, if you zoom in right here, you can see what might have been a Birkeland current scar or burnt image, because you can see that there's clearly something going around something underneath it. And that's what I think this is. I think this is like a snapshot of the Birkeland currents, and it looks electrical too. You can see that. Okay, our first reoccurring pattern is this area right here. This is by Vietnam, and we have the Philippine Islands right here, which is when I rotate that upside down, it's obviously what made India, because it's even in the shape of India, and it has it has all its features basically. So anyways, here's that crater. Here's this reoccurring pattern that fits like a glove, of course. So there's kind of no denying it. I mean, that's what it is. And then this is also a reoccurring pattern. You can see it's rotating, but we can get away with this right here because it lines up right there. It's like this. Okay, check it out. This part lines up right here, and then this part lines up right here. So it's like if I was to cut and paste this, it would be a complete enclosure. You know, you see what I'm saying? That to that. So it must have been moving when it made this. And you can just see that you can see that this head of this whatever was rotating. You can see the outline of what looks to be like rotation. Like as if this was a tornado. If I rotate this so that it sits the right way, it would look kind of like a funnel. And that's what Birkeland currents are basically. They create vortexes and funnels just like tornadoes and stuff like that. So basically you can almost theorize that maybe this Birkeland current sucks the matter off of probably Saturn or another brown dwarf to create our planet. And that stolen from the electric universe theory guys. They've mentioned something similar to that, and that's where I got the idea from. And it's kind of funny that right now Saturn has a hexagon on its south pole, I think, a hexagon plasma storm. Well, I'm wondering if underneath that hexagon plasma storm, if it's sucking up the matter and creating a moon or a planet that we can't see at the moment. So that's something to think about. And it could be how our planet was made, actually. You know, our science says that accretion creates planets, which is kind of hard for me to believe because you know how long it would take to accumulate enough matter to create a planet. And then not only that, then how come in our asteroid belts planets aren't being? You would think an asteroid belt would be like the birthplace of planets, but not our asteroid belt apparently. So it doesn't make sense. You know, when things don't make sense, it usually means that they're not accurate. So, and this is pretty accurate. Look at this. So then I move it down more, and this is also a reoccurring pattern of this right there. There's no doubt about it. You can tell that's it. But even this little guy right here fits. See how it fits right in there? Right here. There. Everywhere. And then maybe this fits in here. This could have been the beginning, I guess. You know, this looks a lot like something else I'm going to show you in a little bit. Isn't that incredible, though? Who would have thought that you could see the creation of our planet right on the surface features? And that's what you're seeing right here. I guarantee that's what this is. Here we go. Here's another reoccurring pattern right there. And I guarantee this is a big time reoccurring pattern, and with the you can see the hexagon shape, a partial hexagon shape right in here. Pretty good indicator that this is a vortex. Okay, so that's that one. Okay. And another reoccurring pattern is this thing right here. It might even rotate the other way, actually. Here, let's try it and see what happens. Yeah, it looks pretty good that way, right there. Oh, man, every time. Man, even this guy fits in there pretty decent. Not as good the other way, but that's the other thing that a lot of these patterns, they rotate 180 degrees. There was a period when the creation of the planet where I guess the rotation might have reversed and really caused some havoc. And I think it might be the reason why some of these uh, layers broke on top of one another, away from each other, because of a reverse rotation. But that's just speculation. Okay. Okay, now check this out. The Himalaya Mountains is a mystery to plate tectonics, I'm sure, but not really to me. You can see this alignment right here, this one right here. So the same features that created that crater may also be responsible for the Himalaya Mountains. Check this out. Here's that thing that made, here's the Philippines that made India, but lo and behold, when I line these areas up, see how it's pointed? This is pointed. I'll bring this down like that, and you can see that follows the mountains, and then this follows the mountains, and so on. This looks a lot like this right here. I believe that's a recurring pattern of it. You know what else it looks like? It looks like it says my name too. I always find this thing always trips me out because it looks like an R, O, and then a B. It's like, I guess I was meant to find this. I don't know. It is kind of weird because it's not the only one I found. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, and then you go see what happens is then if I rotate this video is going to be long. I'm going to have to break it up into several parts, but it's going to be worth watching because you're just beginning to see the amount of evidence that I have that supports my theory. Actually, I don't want to call it my theory. I'd rather call it like our theory, like the planet's theory, like the regular people's theory. I mean, it gets old taking, you know, getting force-fed theories from scientists that work for our government, and you know, it just seems shady. Who's to say what, you know, that they could force feed us all kinds of lies and have us believe in all kinds of crap, you know, if we're not careful. So, okay, so I rotated that and look, bang. Looks like I need to rotate it back a little bit, but it's good. You can see how it hits there, and you get your little hexagon eye of the hurricane right there. Could you imagine a hurricane that has an eye that big and it's all plasma? That would be absolutely frightening. That would be the craziest sight ever. But oh yeah. So then that goes there, and then you can see that hey, there's some. This lines up too. It was obviously being made, and this kind of fits right in there too. It's kind of weird how everywhere this thing fits. All right, so I think I got this pretty thoroughly, don't you think? I pretty much proved my point here with just this, that there's a connection, a huge connection between this area and here. This is the same area that I claim makes India and Australia too. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make this part one. Um, I'm gonna make a part two of this because this video is taking way too long to make, and I'm gonna tell you right now that part two's even better than this. I have some really good information and evidence. It should be mind-blowing actually, and it's gonna help explain how this planet was created. It's gonna prove it too. So um, if you like this video or whatever, give it a thumbs up so that other people can find it. And this is something that we all should know. This is the truth. And wait till you see part two. Part two is going to blow your mind. Thanks.